Hey Bill, I'm going to go through the assembly steps for you. Call me with any questions. So you have multiple parts. I'm going to start with the back cradle. You have the back cradle injection molded part. You have a tube that has to get cut to a specific length. The cut is very specific. It has to be accurate. I would say it can't vary more than 1/8 of an inch. And every tube has a curve in it. So when you're applying it to the back piece here, back nozzle, you have to make sure that the curve goes downward. And the reason for that is it keeps the front housing down and it doesn't try to lift up the front housing. So we cut it to size, we take the tube, you have to place it on the nozzle, and this is the most critical part. It has to be pushed on there, which is not easy to do with this tube that got validated, because it's all about the seal putting this unit together. If it's not applied correctly here, the unit doesn't work. If it's not applied correctly here, the unit doesn't work. So you have to apply the tube to this elbow and the fitting on the back cradle. Once you do that, you take a piece of M-Tac tape, place it underneath the cradle, line it up with this piece of styrene that is die cut, 1/8 inch styrene. You line it up with the holes and replace Viking clips in the back. Viking clip in the back. Okay. Okay, this is 1/8 inch styrene. It's going to be cut to size, so you have different lengths according to what size piece they want. Based on the 300 lot, we've been ordering them all the same size, or pricing them, I should say, all the same size. You have a rubber washer, which I sent you in the BOM. It's a McMaster piece of foam that we die cut. You have to spray adhesive on this. It's very important that this piece gets applied over here. If this isn't applied correctly, and if it doesn't have adhesive on it, it will come up, and when they refill it, it will not work. This creates the seal from the bottle to the cradle. Then we have front pump housing. You have a pump that we purchase. The pump gets pressed in here. It's pressure fit in the top. Then you have a second part here with the shoulders on it that gets pressed in over top of the pump, and that secures the pump top to the injection molded front pump housing. Then you have a dress up cap which slides over and clicks onto the front. Once you do that, you take your front base and you have to, you have to line this up with the front of the styrene bottom piece. And what we do is we put 2 screws in the bottom, 1, 2. And what this does is this secures the front and holds it down onto the piece and stops it from popping up or down. This elbow then gets seated in here, and right here you can see the accuracy needed of the length of the tube. What I like to do in assembly, everybody has their own way to assemble it, is I like to put this in the front pump housing first, attach it to the pump, again very critical, has to be a good fit. This pressure fits and locks into the front pump housing. Then we have 4 bumper feet. Take the bumper feet out, you place them on the bottom 4 times. Then you have the extrusion. They're all ordered the same length. Depending on the size that they want, they get cut to size, and this gets packed in the box. It doesn't get applied. And then you have the rotating primer. Comes in 2 pieces. The one part I don't have here is the primer piece itself, which is a piece of polypropylene that we die cut. and you bend it and you stick it in these slots, which causes the pressure onto the bottle. You take these two pieces, click them together, and this packs in the unit flat. For assembly purposes from the store, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this yet, but they place the bottle in, they rip the cap off, push the bottle in. This says front and back on it. You take the back, put it in the back, close it, and start pumping, and material flows through. Once they do that, they put the extrusion on, load it up with product, and they're done. The other item that we have is the sleeve. It's printed, we die cut it and glue it. You know, for 300 pieces that they've been requesting, these are all hand glued. Thanks for your help on this. Please call me with any questions. We're very anxious to try to find a way to get this to market quicker and cheaper.